we'll start with introductions. So just say your name and then the article or book that you read last week, and then if you watched any English media, could you share it with us? So, Nethila, would you like to start? Nethila or Chanali?
Uh, my name is Nithula. I read the article about uh, papers, about making papers.
Mhm.
They are included um the papers made in Sri Lanka. Uh, uh,
And is there anything like special about the papers that are made there? Or like a fun fact you want to share or something?
the papers are very eco-friendly,
Hmm.
uh, and also it is made by um,
You cut off a little at the end, but thank you for sharing. Um, and did you watch any English media at all?
no teacher.
It's okay. Um, how about Chanali or Tisan and Isurika?
Hello, I am Kisan. Last week I read the article about uses of water. Uh, Water is the most valuable thing which exists in the world. According to article, not even a single human or animal can survive without water. Although the Earth's surface is mostly covered by water, only 2 or 30% of water can be taken as usable water. We use water to drink, to cook, to clean, uh, and extra. Not only human life, but also plants depend on water. So it is one of our major responsibility to save water by not wasting them. Thank you.
Thank you. And did you sh watch any English media last week? And
Uh,
would you like to share that with us?
so it is,
It's okay. All right, how about Isurika or Chanali? Would you guys like to go? Yeah, that's fine. So I'm gonna cover first person, second person, and third person point of views in writing, I guess, and like how to recognize them. Because I know we covered a little bit of it last week with the sorry, no, not last week. I think it was a week before last week. But we did cover some first person point of views, or first, second, and third person point of views, but we didn't really go in depth. So I'm just gonna go over like the first, second, and third person, and then and I have an example for second person since that was like a little harder for us to grasp last time. So yeah, and then we're gonna practice writing in first, second, and third person point of view. Okay. So, in first person narration, the narrator is the person telling the story from their own point of view, and the narration is usually utilizes the pronouns I or we. If the we, if they're talking about, I guess, like a group of people. So that's one way to like recognize if a story that you're reading um is in the first person point of view, is if they use the pronouns I or we. All right, and the second person point of view, um, or second person narration is a narrative in which the action is driven by the character ascribed to the reader. So like the character known as you. And the reader is immersed into the narrative as a character involved in the story. And the narrator describes what you do and lets you in your own thoughts and background. So, for example, at a subway station, you wait 15 minutes on a platform for a train. Finally, a local, um, enervated by graffiti, shuffles into the station. You get a seat and hoist a copy of the New York Post. The Post is the most shameful of your several addictions. So as you can see, like in the second person point of view, the narrator is describing like what you are doing. Does anyone not understand or would like me to like give another example? Okay, we'll move on to the third person point of view. So, wow, this is going really quick. Okay, sorry. All right. So for the third person point of view, in the third person narration, the narrator exists outside of the events in the story and relates to the actions of the characters by referring to their names or by the third person pronouns he, she, or they. So, um, third person narration is different from first person and second person narration because there's different types of third person narration. So, third person narration can be further classified into several types. So we have omniscient, limited, and objective. So, in omniscient, third person narration, it means like the narrator is all knowing and knows all the character's thoughts, feelings, and motivation, even if the character doesn't reveal any of those things to the other characters. And in limited narration, the narrator still exists outside of the events of the story, but does not know the thoughts or motivations of all the characters. And then in third person objective narration, the narrator reports the events that takes place without knowing the motivations or thoughts of any of the characters. And we know little about what drives them until we hear them like speak or observe their actions. All right. I'll do like a little exercise and then you can tell me if it's like first, second, or third person based on what we've done so far. And then after that, we'll do some practice on a Google Doc. And I want you guys to join it. And then we're gonna practice writing in like the first, second, and third person point of views. And then yeah, okay. So for the first one, yeah. So for the first one, okay, I'll read it out loud and then I'll leave it up for volunteers. So Gary Fulcher grabbed his arm as he went by. Gonna run today? Jess nodded. Gary smirked. He thinks he can beat me. At the thought, something jiggled inside Jess. He knew he was better than he had been last spring. So is that first, second, or third person?
Third person?
Mm-hmm. And what kind of third person do you think this would be? Because remember, there's three types of third person point of views. We had omniscient, limited, and objective.
Objective?
Remember, objective is when we don't know any of like the character's inner thoughts or feelings or motivations. Objective is just okay, so if I was gonna edit this to be like fully objective, it would just be Gary Fulcher grabbed his arm as he went by. Gonna run today? Just nodded. Gary smirked. And we wouldn't have any of this like past that because all of this is something that's happening internally. So the narrator knows what um what Gary is thinking and what Jess is thinking.
Narrator?
Yeah, so the narrator knows what the characters are thinking. So do you think the narrator would be omniscient, limited, or objective in this case?
Omni omniscient.
Yeah, so this would be an omniscient third person narrator. Copy and paste. Okay. Okay. All right. Next one. The bus picks up students in groups of 4 or 5. As they walk down the aisle, people who are my middle school lab partners or gym buddies glare at me. I close my eyes. This is what I've been dreading. So is that first person, second person, or third person?
First person.
Person.
Yeah, that's first person. Good job. And how did you guys know that this was first person?
Limited.
No. I'm just like first person is correct, and first person doesn't have so if first person doesn't have like the omniscient, limited, or objective narration types. That's only for third person. First person, it's just the narrator telling the story from their own point of view. So that's correct. But how did you guys recognize that this was a first person narration?
It is that sentence always tells uh, about me. Uh,
Yes, I mean, so it is talking about themselves, right? It does use the words me and I in it. So those are like some of the ways that we'll know. Oof, sorry, that's really great. So me, when you just, sorry. So when recognizing, first person, just look for words like me, I've, all of this, they're referring to themselves. So that's how we know that it's first person. All right. Next, he himself was a very old man with shaggy white hair, which grew over most of his face as well as on his head. They liked him almost at once.
Third person.
Yeah, this is
person.
third person. And do you know what type of third person this is? So we have the three options. So omniscient, limited, and objective.
Limited.
It is close, but this one is a little more specific.
Omniscient.
No, so in
Objective.
this, yeah, it's objective. So in omniscient, remember they would be talking, I guess, about the thoughts and the feelings of the characters as well. And I know this is kind of like a small snippet, it's just like one sentence, so it's like harder to determine. But you can tell that the narrator is only giving us like objective facts. So the man was old with shaggy white hair, grew all over his face and on his head. Um, and that the characters almost liked him almost at once. So this is there was a couple quotes that the characters said afterwards that I didn't add, which I now looking back I should have. But there was so children were expressing that they liked him, right? So it would make it objective third person narration because the narrator is just stating the facts of what's going on. They're not really covering any of like the internal thoughts of the characters. All right. Now, I'll share this link with you guys in the Zoom chat. And you guys don't have to sign in. Sorry, that's good to everyone. And you don't have to sign in or anything. You can just go in there and you should be able to start writing immediately. All right, I've got one person on here so far. Two people. Okay, and I'll give you a prompt, and then I want you guys to write your like name. So I'll write my name, and then under your name, here I'll just see. So I want you guys to write in first person narration, and then I'll give you guys a prompt. So it'll just be first day of school. Um, and your character is gonna be uh it'll just be like a small kid, I guess. Or actually, just you guys can just do the first day of school. I guess I'll keep it like open-ended. There you go. So you guys can start writing underneath your names. Do you guys like want more help or explanation? I can do that.
Teacher, excuse
Mhm.
me, so I am supposed to say what I am going to write?
No, you can just type it in the Google Doc. Oh, can you guys see my screen?
Can see the screen, but I can't interact with it.
Oh, and
It's there,
I
it's
put
on the
a
chat. It's in the
yes.
chat. I found it.
Yeah, I put a link in the chat. I'll just put it in the doc too, just in case. Here, I'll write something too, so. Let's see. Here I'll be more specific, so like it won't be as hard to come up with something. I'll just say, you woke up late on your first day of school. Okay, so you have to write about that. What's a good prompt for the second one? I couldn't. Maybe we could practice writing in detail, and I could do something small like you're drinking tea at your close friend's house or something. Okay, I'll make this per optional then. It's okay if you
Oh,
don't play
man.
Mario.
No, it's not that I didn't play Mario. It, it didn't really have the ability to play Mario at the time because, well, we are falling behind. You guys had the Nintendos and all of those stuff way before we had.
You can just talk about it then outside of the Mario context, like you're just a traveler. All right, I'm gonna go and look at our first person. All right. So for my example, I just said I heard the alarm clock ringing in the background as I woke up. It was 8:30. School started at 8. I got ready in 5 minutes and ran out the door. All right, let's read Nicola's story. So in the morning, I heard the sound of my clock. It was 7 o'clock. Oh, I heard the sound of my clock. I saw the time. It was 7 o'clock. Me. Good. I quickly woke up and washed my face. Got my school bag ready. Here for this one, we could say so for this, put my school bag in front of ready. So I got my school bag ready. I got my school bag, or you can even say I got my school bag ready because we already have the I over here. So I quickly woke up and washed my face, got my school bag ready, um, and had breakfast. For this one, since it's kind of like a oh, I forgot the name for it, but uh, it's like when a sentence carries on for too long. So what we can do is separate with the period, um, over here maybe. So I quickly woke up, washed my face, and got my school bag ready. Period. Then had my breakfast and I went to school. Okay, perfect. Channeling. I heard the clock. I heard the sound of the clock. I woke up quickly. It we could add like a it was too late here. Or you could say I was too late. We say I was, or we could be like more specific. We could say I was late to school. I woke up quickly. I went to the bathroom to have a shower and I just my shoes are very dirty, but I have no time to clean my shoes. I got my breakfast. We could say instead of got we could probably use it like a more specific word. So we could say I either ate or I grabbed the breakfast very fast. Which one would you like, Channeling? Would you like ate or grab the breakfast? Let's do
18
grab.
positive.
Ate? I ate the breakfast very fast and I ran to catch the bus. It's just spacing errors. Oh yeah, late for school. Oh, he's not here at this right now. All right, listen, I quickly got ready to go to school. Then I ate my breakfast fast. Instead of fastly, we could use quickly. So, and went to the bus with my brother. Oh yeah, so when we're referring to objects, I saw this happen over here too, but when we're referring to just like objects like this, we can just use the in front. So instead of saying I heard the sound of clock, just say I heard the sound of the clock, or in this case, went to the bus instead of went to bus with my brother. When I went a short distance on the bus suddenly stopped. A few, yeah. So for this one, a few minutes, instead of times, you can just, we can go into like specific. So, a few minutes later, I realized there was a technical fault in the bus. All right. Good job, you guys. Assyria, you guys are all like getting first person down perfectly. So Assyria, I woke up to being shaken by my dad and waking up well. Instead of completely, you can stay still sleepy. I lift my head up and ask him what's going on, as I've never woken up this early before. My dad says that we have to go to school now. I hurriedly works, hurriedly or quickly, put my clothes on and took my breakfast and went to school. Nice. You're already using like 8 to refer to breakfast, so you don't have to add the. But I understand. Like English is so weird. I'm like, all right, for second person, do you guys want me to write your names down too for that one? And does anyone need help with second person, or like you want me to go over it really quick? Remember, second person is just referring to the character as you. So if you guys look at my second person point of view example we have here, so we have at the subway station, you wait 15 minutes on a platform for a train. And you get a seat and hoist a copy of the New York Post. So it's similar to like the way that the prompt is written. So the prompt is also written in second person. So you woke up late on your first day of school, you drink tea at a close friend's house. We're referring to the character, or like the reader as you, basically. So you don't have to write this much. You just one sentence, 1 or 2 sentences is fine. I don't know if we'll have enough time for a third person too. Can use a friend here since we're only referring to like one friend, but good use of apostrophes. We could say your friend informed you that he wouldn't or he will not be home. We only use if we're like referring to like a single object, but this we could say drink tea. There you go. Nice job. So we also have very late, any friend is waiting for you. You reach for some cookies, cakes, and biscuits for the tea. Your friend informs you. All right, we're gonna have to stop soon for today, and then because I do want to go over some our plans for next week. But I really like your guys' first and second person. And second person was is kind of like hard to get down, so you guys got that pretty well. And then for third person, I know we don't have enough time to practice, but just remember that uh we have it's just the narrator explaining things from the outside. So most like fiction books, like I don't know if like Harry Potter, uh like Lord of the Rings, a lot of those books are written in like third person narration. And so like yeah, I mean any fiction book that most of them are written in third person. So you can read those to get some more practice. And just like yeah, and you guys can while you're reading that, you can see if the narration is like omniscient, limited, or objective. Yeah. But I like the work that you guys did for the first and third person. First and second person, sorry. And then third person, we can go over really quick next week if you guys feel like you need more help on it. But for now, let's stop writing and I need help with something from you guys. So for I know your exams are starting soon, and so next week I just want to take that time to go over any topics you guys feel like you need more help on. So
It's
can
literally
you
tomorrow.
your English final, your English exam?
No, not the English exam, but the exam start right tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow. So by next week, if I cover, or when is your English exam going to be? Is it going to be this week or next week? Or do you guys
It,
not
I
have the
think,
schedule?
depends on different grades. Like there's 8th graders and 10th graders here, right?
Yeah.
Mm. So we have a exam tomorrow, but 8th graders, 7th graders, and those year grades
Mm-hmm.
have an exam for later than us.
Mm. Okay. Um, then okay, I could just, if there's any topics that you need help on, like while you're studying and you find something that you like don't really understand, you can just put it in the group chat and then we can talk about it. But is there any topics for like next week you want to cover? Then I guess if, or like exam, like either like review or prep or something, I don't know. If not, like I'm open to just taking suggestions like as we go in the group chat. Is everyone in it on WhatsApp?
Teacher, can you teach us passive voice?
Yeah, like a passive voice. Is that what you said?
English is on 17th. 17th is Thursday.
Thursday. Okay. Um, hmm.
Yeah, teacher. Can you teach personalized?
Yeah, I could do that like quick right now, maybe just as like a overview. Okay, we'll skip monologue practice then for today. But we'll go over the active versus passive voice. Let's see. I'm trying to make sure I got the definitions right for this. Okay, so passive voice and objective voice. Here, I'll give you guys, let me send you this video. Okay, I'm gonna send this video in your group chat or in the WhatsApp chat as well. Um, there you go. So passive voice is specifically just like okay, so there's two different types. So you've got active voice and then passive voice. I'll cover active first. So active voice is when it tells us what a person or thing does. So at that, so we have okay, it follows a subject, verb, object pattern. But then passive voice follows an object, verb, subject. I guess that's like the best way to recognize the sentences. So like active voice, let's see. This is an example from straight from the video, but Anna painted the house. So we have the house as the object. Here, let me it's easier for you guys.
Mm.
So we have Anna as the subject, painted as the verb, and then the house as the object. So in this one, we focus on the object. So it's basically the active voice is this is stop. Let me get out. Okay. So for the passive voice, we have what's something that's being done to the object. And in this case, the object is the house. Right? And then painted is going to be our verb. And then Anna is going to be our object in this case. Oh, whoopsie. Switch those around. No, Anna's the subject. Okay. Does everyone understand that?
Yes,
So
teacher.
it does. So yes, passive just switches the object and the subject. So in active voice, you have the subject doing something to the object, and then in passive, you have the something is being done to the object. So the house was painted by Anna versus Anna painted the house. So just make sure you look for these patterns. So with passive voice, just remember that the subject and the object are switched. So in usually what you'll see is active voice in most sentences where you'll have the subject, verb, and then the object. But in passive voice, the subject and the object are flipped. So you'll see the subject referred to at the end. And if you guys need help with anything else, I can send like more resources or like help you guys go over stuff while you're studying, like through over the week. All right, and I don't think we have time for monologue practice, but we can do this another day. Because oh yeah, so next week is gonna be our last class, and then we're gonna have a break until Roman, when was it? Was it like was it just January? Or-
It should be around the middle of January.
Yeah, so are you gonna update them on like a date or something?
Yeah. No, there will be an email to every
Yeah.
student on when exactly the first Zoom class after will be. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. That's all for today's class. And just remember for the exam prep, just send me or just send us anything in the group chat if you need like help while studying for it. Do you guys have any more questions or anything you want to say? Or like if you have something to say for monologue practice, you don't have to. And don't worry about homework, just study for exams. That is all for this
Good
week.
night.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, teacher.
Bye, teacher. Thank you, teacher.
Yeah, and tell me tell me if you guys need help with anything over the week.
Okay,
Okay.
teacher.
Bye-bye.